What's up, guys? This is going to be a quick video, and we just want to say welcome, Elizabeth. You are always welcome in the shots, and welcome to be part of any video that I do. For those that don't know, I love cats, and for those that don't know me, this is the Cyber Hitchhiker, and doing some more content for YouTube. This video is not going to be a long one, but I had a very unfortunate experience today, and I think a lot of people can learn from this. Now, for those that don't know, I've got a company called Decent Digital Solutions, Pty Limited, and we do web development, app development. We specialize in Google My Business, search engine optimization, getting your businesses verified, and then putting in the ongoing SEO that keeps your business going with Google and keeps your business ranked. So I know a little bit about the digital space. I don't call myself the Cyber Hitchhiker for nothing, because I'm pretty much everywhere and all over the place, and I'm getting back into Facebook, getting back into Instagram. You can catch me on Threads. I'm going to be on Twitter, or X, shall we say, very soon, now that Elon has taken over and it's a free speech platform that's not going to get censored. And for those of you that were on Facebook and Instagram and a couple of the platforms, I think it was last night, because Tuesday night yesterday, hectic when the world almost ground to a halt because Facebook and Instagram went down for a couple of hours, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories going on in America about Super Tuesday and everything that's going on with the elections, and with AT&T going down for a couple of hours a couple of weeks ago in the States. But we're not going to discuss it with that. Today we are keeping it real here in South Africa, and I just want to send a shout out, because I'm not wearing one of the Cares Church or Cares Foundation t-shirts. Shout out to my family in Durban. Trenton, Alex, miss you guys. Flenton, Rowana, miss you guys. Gabe, Briante, miss you guys. Pastor Brian, my favorite pastor, miss you. My father of the faith, Pastor Aaron Monsami, love you, my pastor, miss you too. But that's enough of the soppy emotional stuff. I've been through enough of that today. I had an awesome session this afternoon talking to some staff about websites and the synergy that websites play as being the heart of your business, plugged into your peripheral landing pages and then plugged into your social media platforms, and all of that working together. But maybe we can do some more videos about that in the future. Tonight I want to just talk a little bit about, the main thing is to give you guys some advice about protecting your online reputation, and by doing that you also create a good track record digitally of yourself and who you are, just in case. And obviously, guys, we all know in the real world it's people who you spend time with, who you align yourself with, and the things that you do for people, for the communities, and everything in between, especially if you're a Christian like myself. And it's 10 years this year that I can call myself a Christian and say that I've been on this path towards that throne of grace that we talk about and that the Bible speaks about, and choosing to accept Jesus because he first loved us and he first chose us and sacrificed everything for us. Now, why am I saying all of this? Because for the last 10 years, I've been full-time in the ministry. Yes, I've got a company. Yes, I do work, but I've been able to work with some amazing organizations. I've made friends with some amazing people. And for the last 4-5 years, I've been living in Durban. I'm now splitting my time between Durban and Cape Town. This year is my home in Cape Town, at Livingston House in Rondebosch. And yeah, I don't know, man. It was like a little bit weird today. And that's why I thought, you know what, let me just phone some friends of mine who are lawyers and get some advice from them. Not that I want to take anything further. I'm not that kind of guy. For those that know me and all the pastors that I work with and the communities that I work with in Durban, and especially my family at Cares Church, I don't need to prove myself or prove my character to anyone. People know me and know who I am and know what I'm about, because they can see what I do through what I do and not what I say. But I'm not going to mention any specific names, but I just thought, you know what, this is for most people that don't understand about this stuff. Me, I deal with this stuff all the time, so I understand the POPIA Act, I understand the privacy laws of South Africa with the right to privacy that they're pushing so much now, and that's why we are allowed to, not that it's fully legal, but we're probably going down that road, but that's why you're allowed to smoke marijuana in your house and do what you want in your house and grow plants in your house. As long as you don't buy anything and you're just growing it, you're allowed to smoke marijuana. Although it's illegal on the street to sell it, you have the right to privacy now in South Africa, and this falls under the RICA Act, it falls under the POPIA Act, depending on what you're talking about. And there's a whole lot of stuff in between. And I got a hold of a couple of guys today and got them to give me some information. And I thought, let me put this quick video together for you guys, because I don't think people realize how important your online reputation is, and what you say and who you align yourself with, and what you leave as a historical digital trail of who you are. For me, the last 20 years on Facebook, a couple of years on Instagram. I was shocked today to see that I've got over 1,200 followers on Facebook, because I don't really put too much effort in, except I am now, and I will put more effort in. I'm a YouTube guy. I prefer YouTube. You can check me out, the Cyber Hitchhiker, on YouTube. Go subscribe to the channel, like and share, not because I want to be famous, but because it helps with the algorithm. And when you're doing content that is something like now tonight, this is educational, you want people to see it, you want people to learn from it, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people have these questions that I'm going to discuss tonight, and a lot of people will fall into the same kind of things that happened with me today. And I'm not going to get into too much specifics, but I had a run-in on WhatsApp. I belong to a WhatsApp group, which is a public group. And I don't like to air private things on a public group. And it just started out by a friend in the faith sharing a picture of a voter's guide for South Africa that basically gives you just 7 parties and what they stand for. Now, I didn't think anything of this. I thought, great, he shared the picture. For me, I'm always going to share the website so that people can get a little bit more than just the picture, because on the website, and you can go and check it out for yourself, and this is what I want you guys to do. Go to the website, look at it, and you tell me for yourself what is going on there, because we've got 7 main parties that we've highlighted, and we have got links to the Wikipedia pages for all the other parties so that guys can see exactly who they are and what they're about. But we can't highlight every party, so we just take 7 and we give 7. And obviously we have got Christian parties there, we've got non-Christian parties there, we've got parties that have been around for a long time, we've got just independent parties that are just regionally bound and are not a national party. And we've got them to, and here's the thing, I will never ever put a website out without letting that party first go up the ladder. I go to the secretaries, go to the administrators, and get them to tell me, out of all of these questions that we've got listed there, and you can go check it out for yourself on the savotersguide.org.za website, and you'll see there. And we've got 2 excellent articles that I put together on Think Before You Ink as a Christian, and biblical reasons on why a Christian should be voting and what parties they should be voting for. And I believe this is important because, again, if you go to Wikipedia and you look at Wikipedia, you look at South Africa and you look to see what the predominant religion is and what people profess to be as their faith, it says 80% of South Africa are professing to be Christians. And then you wonder, well, why doesn't everyone vote? And here's the thing, I'm not a big political guy. I believe in changing the heart. And if you change the heart, regardless of the law, people won't do something. So even if you live in, and we'll go to the extreme here and say, and even if you live in a place where murder is legal, we could go as far as to say abortion is legal, even without changing the law, if you get people to realize with their hearts that something is wrong, regardless of the law and making it legal, they're not going to do it. And that's why in South Africa, since 1997, they made abortion legal in the country. But still, 58% of all abortions happen in backstreet clinics and not in the hospitals or the clinics. Forget about the babies that are being killed, but we're just saying. One of the big things was, if we make it legal, people won't want to do it illegally, and they'll have better access to healthcare. And if you want to see more about all of this nonsense, you can go and look up Mari Sickers, who is an MP for the ACDP, and she speaks out quite heavily on the Bella Bill. Factually, and she's got an amazing couple of groups going where we can see exactly what is going down with all the provincial meetings and the local community meetings and what's being fleshed out there. And trust me, these WhatsApp groups are volatile, and that's what's so freaky, because the other day it was quite volatile on one of the Bella Bill groups. And today I had the unfortunate experience of, after this brother in the faith, I don't want to mention names specifically because I want to keep this completely neutral, because this is just an example I'm using that I had to go through today. And shared the picture. I shared the link to the savotersguide.org.za website. And like I said, go and check it out for yourselves, because make up your own minds. Now, I went to all the parties on that group, on that site, because I don't want to publish anything that is not true. According to the party guys, hear what I'm saying. Decent Digital Solutions Pty Limited runs the domains for the website, runs the website, and I set everything up, registered with Google My Business, plugged into Search Console in Google so that we can track the analytics, see how many people are going onto the site and what's going on there and how many people are looking at the articles. Because I love data, I love to see what's going on. It's a passion of mine besides digital media. And I wasn't expecting what happened after this was posted. And unfortunately, we had someone come onto the group. And regardless of whether this person thinks they know me or not, they don't really know me at all. And this is what I want to talk about, because at the end of this video, you'll see as I progress, I'm going to give you guys 6 or 7 things about how to make sure that you protect yourself so that if something like this happens, you've got something to fall back on, and how not to react. Because you see, this is what happens on social media. People are very reactive. They see something and then they blast something out onto a public WhatsApp group, and then you answer them on a public group, and all of a sudden you're speaking about stuff that should be spoke about privately between you, that person, over a phone call or even a meeting in person, but you start fleshing this out on a group where there's lots of people involved and it becomes a public thing. So I did the right thing. I saw where this was going and I said, listen, let's leave this off the group rather. We can WhatsApp each other privately and leave the group alone, because it's not really the group's main priority is not politics. It really is about pro-life stuff. So I just thought, you know what, this is getting a little bit hectic now. Let me just, and all the guys in the group, they know me. They are my brothers in the faith. They are my family. They're people that I've sweated and toiled with over the last how many years, fighting for various things, working in the communities, handing out food, spreading the gospel, working with numerous organizations, especially our organization from Cares Church, Cares Foundation, which is an amazing organization that responds to crisis situations, whether it's on an individual, family, or community level. We've got the networking in Durban. My pastor Aaron Munsami started the organization, and we just run with it. We are just servants, and we follow his vision because he is our shepherd. But here's the thing. All of a sudden, this started going south very, very quickly, and I just thought, you know what, let's take this off the group. Now, you must understand, I would never ever say anything to anyone that I can't back up legally. I'm not going to be derogatory to anyone. People who know me, I'm the most lovable person. I battle to even get angry most of the time. But I do have a bit of righteous indignation when people start questioning my integrity, because it's not my integrity they're questioning. They're questioning Christ's integrity, because it's no longer about me. It's about Christ who is in me. And hopefully people see that. And for those that know me, they do. So I messaged this person privately on their WhatsApp private number, and I said, listen, this is the story, because what they did was they started questioning the SA Voters Guide and questioning the running of the site, which is run by Decent Digital Solutions, Pty Limited. So now you're dragging my company's name into it, and I stand very heavily on my reputation. I've only got a few clients because I try and keep as much time for ministry, but if you speak to the guys that I work for, medical practitioners, Dr. Renell, Dr. Cindy, I don't mind mentioning them because, guys, if you want a good family practice to go to in Pinetown in Durban, they are specialists when it comes to neurodivergent sort of, I don't want to call it mental illnesses, but conditions. And they do all the ADOS testing and everything like that. You can go see Saro Medical Practitioners at .co.za or saro.health and give them a call. They love talking, they love giving advice, but they will tell you the kind of work that I do and the quality of work that I do and the kind of person that I am, as well as a businessman. So my reputation for my business stems very much, even though I'm a digital guy, on word of mouth. I don't advertise myself. I let people talk about me, and I take clients when I can and who I can work with well. But needless to say, I said to this person, I said, listen, you know, what are you trying to get at here? Because you're starting to rip the website to threads, telling me that you're going to go onto Facebook. You can't endorse this website. This website is not factual. I'm spreading fake news and all this other nonsense. And I just said to this person, listen, send them a voice note. I don't mind sending voice notes because I'm sending them a voice note on a private chat to another person privately, and we're discussing this now off the group, so no one else needs to know. Not that I'm being nasty. And this person wasn't being nasty to me either, so it's not even about that. But they just started going off and saying, we're going to go onto Facebook, and if you expect us to endorse this site, we can't. And if anyone asks us about this site, we are going to tell them that the SA Voters Guide is a site that's spreading misinformation, fake news. Now, here's the thing. I went to every political party, that is not every party, but the 7 that is on that JPEG on the site that gives you a list of questions and what they are for and against according to their manifestos. I phoned every administrative secretary. I spoke to every person that was high up on a provincial level and national level on the group. I'm very good friends with the ACDP, so I'm very blessed. Jamel Isop, who is in the KZN regional department for ACDP, Pastor Wayne Thring, we chat often, Kenneth Meshu, president, and Joshua, who's now the head of communications for the ACDP. We're talking all the time, and I'm not throwing my weight around because I'm a nobody. I just love talking to these guys because they have got the same convictions as me and believe in the same things as me. And I try and help as much as I can on a voluntary basis. And obviously, this person said, well, I don't care about any of that. I am basically going to tell people that the SA Voters Guide is spreading misinformation. So I said, what do you mean? And he mentioned a couple of political parties and said, what you've got there and what they've said they do or don't do is actually wrong because they do that. And they're actually misleading. I said, okay, wait, hang on, stop. What does that have to do with the SA Voters Guide? If I have gone to these political parties and said to them, tell me the answers to these questions. And some of them went back and forth with me 3, 4, 5 times before we got the final thing down so that everything was correct. Because I know that if I publish a website and a political party sees it and they go, hey, that's not what we believe in, or that's not in our manifesto, and that's not what we are basically saying as a party, I can get into huge trouble legally. And I know that. But this applies on a very personal, individual level as well. When it comes to POPIA, when it comes to RICA, and when it comes to the Privacy Act. So I said to this person, listen, this is what the website is for. SA Voters Guide has done all the checks and made sure that the parties have told us what they want us to represent. If that party is lying to us and misleading us, who am I to question that? Because they've told me what they believe in and what their manifesto says. And so they've answered the questions the way they want to answer them. As long as they've given me the go-ahead to publish that, and that's what they said that they are standing for, great. The point of the website is this. Just like this person saw the website and said, oh, but this party is actually lying. That's not the SA Voters Guide's fault. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't endorse the site or basically badmouth me and my company for putting out fake news. What you do is what we are trying to do, because it's an educational tool. Go read the articles. The articles give you such good grounding as a Christian on how to vote. Very relevant, considering we've got elections coming up on the 29th of May and most people don't understand as a Christian how they're supposed to vote or who they're supposed to even vote for. And we want the guys to vote correctly. So I said to this guy, I said, listen, surely you should be going onto social media and you should be saying, listen, guys, I went to the SA Voters Guide and this party, although they're saying yes to this and yes to this, they actually believe the opposite. And then give proof, give a video where that party is talking about it and saying that they endorse it when on the site they've said they don't. This is what we want. We want to create dialogue. We want to create discussion so we can see who's who and who's lying, who's telling the truth. We have gone to those parties and they've told us what they believe in and they've answered those questions, and that's why we've put either a tick or a cross or a maybe, or if they believe in referendum for the people, we put referendum. That doesn't make me wrong or the website wrong. That is supposed to be a way of you now going onto your social media platforms and talking about that from a factual point of view and creating an active dialogue that is constructive. Not getting all bent out of shape and reacting to something like I was saying earlier and not thinking about what you're actually doing. So this carried on, and then eventually this guy went back onto the public WhatsApp group and started putting stuff up there publicly. So I just said, listen, can we just stop this now, because it's going on a little bit hectic and this is not what this group is about. We can be discussing this politics somewhere else. And needless to say, this person carried on ranting. And when he really started pushing it and saying, listen, I'm really going to give it to you guys. I'm going to go onto social media. I'm going to tell them how bad SA Voters Guide is, which means you're telling people that my company is bad and the work that I do is not right and not thoroughly checked, which it is. So I sent this guy 2 voice notes privately on his private WhatsApp line. Was I heated? Yes. Did I swear? Did I go crazy? No. What did I say to him? Everything I said to him was factual. I said to him, if you go into social media and you badmouth my website, then you badmouth my company, indirectly, you're asking for trouble, and I will come for you legally, because that's what recourse you actually have. And it's one of South Africa is very severe with this. And this is what the lawyers said to me. They said, Vaughan, I've got a couple of mates who are lawyers, and they said to me, Vaughan, listen, this is very sensitive stuff, because now I didn't even think about it this way. They said to me, it's borderline defamation. Because here's what happened. Let me just, before I jump the gun. I've got a cat behind me and it's getting very comfortable. You guys probably see the ears from the side camera here. Hopefully you don't see my stomach. I'm trying to do stomach in, chest out. Getting back into a little bit of exercise now because it's getting a bit hectic. But anyway, I digress. This guy basically didn't want to let this go. So I sent him 2 voice notes. Was I very passionate and heated about what I was saying? Yes. Did I say anything wrong? No. But I sent these voice notes privately to him, guys. So here's the thing. Question. Can you, in a private conversation with someone, and you've sent them a private voice note that is meant for them only, and then because there's something going on a public WhatsApp group, because you see what I did was I dropped a voice onto the public WhatsApp group and I said, listen, this is the end of it. All I'm doing here is trying to explain to you guys that I'm not a politician, I'm not into politics. This group is more about right to life issues. And for me personally, you can change as many laws as you want, but if you don't change the heart, those laws will be changed every 4 years, every 8 years, depending on who comes into power. But if you change a heart and the mind is renewed through the acceptance of Christ, and they develop a different set of values and start loving life, then it doesn't matter about the law because they won't do it if it's not part of their ethical or moral code. And obviously, I don't know what happened, but the next thing, this guy threw 2 of my private voice notes that I'd sent him onto the group, thinking that this is going to back him up some way. I didn't say anything about it because I don't care if the guys hear that on a public group, but here's the thing that I do care about. When I send you a private voice note, do I not have the right to say, first of all, if you want to send that voice note onto a public group, don't you need to come to me and ask me consent and say, listen, I'm going to share that private note onto a public group. Do I have your permission? Obviously, most people will say, no, that was a private message. This guy just decided to dump these 2 notes onto a public group, and guess what? I'm sorry, but that's why I'm making this video, because I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not the type of guy to take things further. But this guy's pushing it now, because if he does decide to go onto social media and badmouth the site, and not badmouth the political party, because that's where he's wrong. You see, you're supposed to use the site as a tool and then speak about what's going on the site constructively. And if you see discrepancies which have come directly from the parties involved, you question the party's integrity. You don't question the site's integrity. It's like questioning a gun's integrity because a murderer might pick up the gun and shoot someone dead with it, or a cop might pick up that gun and protect someone with it. You don't question the gun's integrity. You question, because that's just a tool. You question the people or the person or the individual behind it, like the political parties. So I thought, let me just get some advice here. And this is where I'm going with this, because I've got all the stuff in front of me here, but I'm going to try and tell it to you guys very quickly. So look, in South Africa, private voice notes without consent can violate the Protection of Personal Information Act, which is POPIA, and that is very, very straightforward. What does it mean? It means that someone shares your private voice note onto a public platform without your consent. It infringes on your basic rights to privacy. Now, you might ask yourself, well, that doesn't sound too hectic, but it can be, depending on what those voice notes are. And the fact that they haven't asked your permission to share those private voice notes means that they are infringing on your rights. Now, here's the thing. What are the consequences? If someone shares your private voice notes on a public platform without their consent, you can take it forward, can take it further, and they can face fines of up to 10 million rand, depending on what the infringement is. And even up to 10 years in jail if there's defamation and character involved. Now, if your organization is targeted by false accusations, you can pursue legal action to claim damages for financial compensation, because I can lose money as a business and lose my reputation and not continue to do what I do because of someone bad-mouthing me and indirectly my business on Facebook. And this is very important because people are defamed all the time and people don't think that they have a recourse, and you do. And I'm going to link, guys, in this video. You can check out the bottom of this video, and there are going to be so many links to all of the stuff that I had, because I don't want to go on for too long with this video, because I want to try and keep it under half an hour. But let's talk about what I know best, digital platforms. How do you safeguard yourself Because here's the thing, if you want to go onto my Facebook, go onto my Instagram, go on back 10 years if you want, you will see exactly what type of a person I am, because I'm very careful about the content that I curate and put on there. However, it's more important to be living out that in your real life. So if your real life is mirrored onto your social media, then the two and two are connected. So you can go and ask people who know me, they'll tell you who I am. You can go check out my Facebook page if you don't know me, and you'll see exactly who I am there as well, Instagram, whatever. But here's the thing, firstly, present yourself well by crafting positive profiles on your social platforms. Don't get caught into this trap of reacting and then just blurting stuff out on social media and creating a negative persona of yourself online. Secondly, reflect rather than react. This is a big one for me, because what this guy did today was just react without thinking. Reflect like I did. I went away, reflected, spoke to some legal people, got some advice, and they told me what I even can and can't do in this video. That's why I'm being so blasé and so vague about what group, what person, and everything like that. But I'm not being vague about the website. Go to savotersguide.org.za, check it out for yourself, and use it as a tool to create constructive dialogue in order to shine a light on things that need to be shone. So, thirdly, make sure that you're active on social media and consider the long-term impact of your social media accounts, so that people can't go back like they love doing now, especially with celebrities. They go back 20 years to when that person was a young person and might have said something stupid or blurted out a tweet. And they'll use it against them now, 20 years later, when there's been a lot of character development. That person probably isn't even the same person anymore. Be very careful what you leave out in the digital space, because once it's there forever. People take screenshots of everything. So do I. Fourthly, make sure that no one has access to your information through backdoors and malicious software. Make sure that your privacy settings are set and they're under control. I've got two-factor authentication on everything. I've got authenticator apps for some of my stuff that I do. You've got to send me an email with a code, and I've got to put that in, plus a password, plus an authentication. I've got 3, 4, 5 layers of everything to make sure that everything is sorted so that I don't get hacked or anything crazy goes on. Fifthly, monitor your online presence. Make sure you do it regularly to stay informed about what's being said about you, because even if you're not posting publicly, people might be posting about you, especially with me. If I'm in public platforms and I'm doing engagements and I'm talking to people, people might post about that. If I'm not online checking what people are saying about me, I will never know if I'm being defamed. The next thing, people start looking at you funny and going, hey, check that guy. And you walk into the room and you're like, hey, what's going on here? And then everyone's on their phones going, we've all seen those movies, and the person's walking down the corridor and everyone's like pointing at them and looking at their phone screen and going, check this out, check this out. Normally it's porn related, but that's an extreme. Fifthly, I've already said this one, monitor your online presence, but let's go to number 6. Opt out of public information listings to protect your personal data. I don't back up anything to a cloud. I back up everything locally. Even my WhatsApp conversations get backed up to my phone, because it's when it's backed up to a cloud, hackers attack servers. They don't attack apps. So I make sure I'm very careful about where I list my information publicly, and I make sure that I use complicated passwords. I don't use my Facebook to log into everything that I go to, because it's lazy, it's easy. Would you like to put your email and put in a password, or prefer to just use Facebook, Google, or whatever? I use email and serious passwords, and it's easy. You just right click on the password and ask them to suggest a password for you, and normally that password is a whole string of crazy numbers and digits and symbols and hashtags. Use them. It is safe. And draft reputation crisis management plans like I did today, so that I could respond effectively to the threat that was posed to me online today by this individual, because they weren't thinking. And this is the thing, I want this person to watch this video as well and learn from their reactionary state that they were in when they started pushing this thing to extremes that it didn't need to go to. Finally, and I've already mentioned this, make sure you use strong passwords and authentication to secure your accounts from unauthorized access. Because violating laws or engaging in defamation can have serious legal repercussions. When we take proactive measures, stay vigilant. You're not only protecting your reputation, but you're also avoiding legal troubles. Like me, I could have lawyers on this guy if I wanted to, because I've got a record of what he said and what he threatened to say on a public platform about a site, when he should be saying it about the politicians involved or the political parties, not the tool that is just bringing this to the people. Big difference. So I just want to say one thing at the end of this video, just to protect myself. Please note that this information, and this is unfortunately what the lawyer said I must do, and this is their wording. Please note that this information is intended to provide a general understanding of the law, and check out all the links below this video to understand the full context of what I'm talking about, because I went to the 10th degree to get all the information. This is not specific legal advice. For any specific situation, consult an actual legal professional and lawyer and advocate that deals with privacy and online stuff so that they can help you out. And just before I hit 30 minutes, I'm going to say to you guys, Vaughn, this is the Cyber Hitchhiker. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for much more content. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on my social platforms, see what I'm up to, and see what type of a person I am and how I live my life and how I give my life for all of those around me. I love you guys. Miss everyone in Durban. See everyone soon. Ciao for now. Cyber Hitchhiker saying goodbye and God bless.